A new cartoon for kids is launching on a blockchain with crypto. Like, why? Chat, is this real? Welcome to the day and age where, cartoons come with a crypto wallet. This is not satire. It's actually a Web3 pipeline to pre-teen TV type shit. Let's talk about Owen Nowhere. This fall, it's actually happening. Owen Nowhere will hit screens. Kind of. Not like traditional screens. Luckily for us, for now. It's not coming to Netflix. It's not coming to Disney. It's not even coming to YouTube. It's actually launching on Lamina One. It's a blockchain-powered decentralized platform. But again, this is a TV show for kids. It's backed by Neil Stephan. This is the guy who literally coined the term metaverse. This new platform, though, is backed by creators who can do whatever they want. But now it's a place where children's programming is being rebranded and reimagined into a NFT and crypto-backed project. And this isn't the Facebook metaverse, and I do wonder how many parents will allow their kids to even get involved in this and how many will shill it out to their own spawn. And if you're a parent, I'd be very curious to know your thoughts on the matter. And while you're in the comments section, if you're digging the commentary and content, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for the 1,300 subs. Holy, back to the show for kids with a crypto plug. So who's even behind this? We got Chris Jamal, the assistant director for Bob's Burgers, Jacqueline DeMoss, the producer for Peg and Cat, and together they formed the We Ghosted Media. And they're betting big that kids want some sort of interactivity and immersion, which they do. But did they want the little sprinkle of decentralized finance into the TV show? I doubt it. Owen Nowhere allegedly will follow a kid content creator, because that makes sense. And it's going to follow them on a quirky little road trip, I suppose, with the whole family. There's a magical vampire family involved. There's a cat, there's a fish and a stroller, and a lot of other fever dream things that we might have seen back on Cartoon Network at 2 a.m. back in the day. But here is the interaction feature that fans can be able to vote wherever the family might travel next. They can suggest storylines or even unlock different outfits for Owen to wear. And they don't do that with a remote, kind of like on Netflix where you can choose your own adventure. They'll be doing it with digital tokens. But instead of being able to cash out these tokens, the idea is that they're creating some community-driven content, and they're looking to reward creativity. And in a nutshell, that sounds nice, right? The community-driven content, not like the tokenization of kid shows. I will say that it feels a bit forced, but that is kind of the idea behind monetization nowadays. It is so forced. You have to make money to get by. If it's 2025 and things have shifted. Back to the story, right? Because this is where it gets a bit spicy. Crypto plus children, I think, equals a red flag. As a former teacher, I know that we don't even have classes to adequately discuss the basics of finance, right? You're lucky to learn how to balance a checkbook that nobody uses anymore. Let alone, do we teach them the dangers and risks that are associated with speculative assets like crypto? And of course, the parents will have to manage these wallets, and that does mean some level of trust with their child, a lot of technical literacy, and a whole new form of what screen time might mean. That might come with additional stress. There's a lot of crypto scams targeting adults, and now we're kind of moving into this new territory of maybe targeting children. And even Lamina One admits that they haven't figured out safety. Their CEO, Rebecca Barkin, says that they'll, quote, learn real fast what protections are needed. So I think the translation here is your child might be a beta tester, guys. They will break stuff and iterate later, as usual. But why are they even doing this, right? Why? Why do this? They claim it has something to do with freedom and creative autonomy and direct relationships with the fans and this Web3 idea that seems so holistic, right? Jamal and DeMoss want to set some sort of new standard for kids media in the decentralized era. This is their claim. This is not really a summary. This is their claim. And the crypto wallet is heavily embedded into this. It's baked into the program. It's a mechanism to vote, to own, to fund the show. And you won't just be watching the program. You're investing not just your time, but some sort of resource. And in this case, it's a token. And that token that you do inevitably buy, it's not just some sort of merch that you put on or you rock like a cap, but it's capital. And in some level, that's power, I guess. So let's zoom out. Kids' entertainment is no stranger to commercialization, and we could look all around at TV shows that do this already, and we could even look a little bit closer to home. Think about McDonald's and their Happy Meal toys. I get it, there's a huge market with kids, but maybe I'm the old man just kind of turning into that person that yells at kids to get off their lawn, you know what I mean? Or get down from that tree, or stop doing the dangerous thing. This is somewhat gamifying ownership, and I feel like sort of leaning into the whole monetization culture, which I think is a bit toxic. There's something inside of me that just feels very weird about this. I'd even liken it to some sort of Black Mirror episode. I haven't even finished Black Mirror Season 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is in it. And Web3 advocates will absolutely tell you that this is about power to the people. It is giving power back to the people. It is cutting out the middleman. It is building equity. And not just building equity, but doing so through a fandom. And that might be true, but to some degree, I think we realize that, crypto in general, anything on a blockchain does come with additional volatility and instability all around. Who really benefits when participation requires a crypto wallet? Nothing good has ever come out of that sentence, that request. Owen Nowhere might end up being a super adorable show with expressively positive intentions and a progressive message, and that is all good and well. But let's be honest, this might be a stress test for the future of media, because we've seen Netflix sort of iterate on this idea before in the sense that you can choose your own adventure and buy extra features in the subscription package to sort of allow you to experience other things that other subscribers wouldn't because you have a different tier. And to some degree, I guess it's been tested before, right? Just not with crypto on a blockchain. For kids. None of that. Because it's not just like, what if kids were able to make their own content and have say in their own content, but this is like, what if kids were the stakeholders in the content? And it's like, why would we want kids to be stakeholders in the content to begin with? Like, bruh, when I was 11, I didn't know what I needed as a kid. I kind of knew what I wanted to see, but I didn't know what I needed or what was good for me, for that matter, when I was like 12, 13, 14. Trust me, you wouldn't have want me anywhere near something like this when I was 13. I'll leave you with the most charitable kind of idea that I could fathom, taking away from this idea that a kids' TV show is going to be tied directly to some blockchain. The show could teach them agency, which is probably not likely, but it's the idea that you can give a kid an allowance and then be able to have your kids sort of work through that allowance and buy stuff that makes sense for them. Again, I don't think that's likely. What's more likely is that it might teach kids that digital clout equals control somehow. And that just sucks, man. That just sucks. It could open doors, but it most likely will open the wallets. And that's I think, the paradox of this Owen Nowhere show. It's pitching itself as this pioneering thing, but I think it might just be risky. Too risky. Before it changes media for kids as we know it, we should definitely ask who is playing, who is paying, and who ultimately will profit. I think those are some pretty simple questions. Anyway, welcome to the future, brought to you by Vampires, Fish, and probably a terms of service that nobody will read as usual. And until next time, I'm V. What a wonky little story.